Hello and welcome back to Paul's Racing Channel and to the Ultimate Racing League, sponsored by Prop Up & Co, and to race 2 from round 3 of our Scirocco GR4 Sunday Championship here at the Daytona International Speedway in Florida. So race 2, another 12 laps around here for the Sciroccos, and we've got a mix of tyres, mediums and hards, to be run here on this one, and minimum of 2 laps on each compound. So we'll run through the grid now. This is a reverse grid as well, and we'll go through the tyres while we're looking at that as well. So same camera shot looking down from the start and finish line onto the grid. So Swifty is in pole position on the medium tyres. Then we've got Love Rocket Rods on the hards in second. Now we had an eventful finish to that first race with all sorts of stuff going on. He had engine damage, front and rear damage, so at the end came in, I think, in about 12th place, 11th or 12th place, due to all that damage that he did have late on. So he's in second place on those hard tyres. Then we've got Firepower in third on the hard tyres, DB in fourth on the hard tyres, Fazzy in fifth on the hard tyres, the Saint in sixth on the hards, 80 in seventh on the hards, Ginger in eighth on the hards, Smith in ninth on the hards, mediums for Pablo in 10th. We've got Tiddy Milk in 11th on the mediums, Carlsberg on the hards in 12th, and thanks again for Carlsberg for the video, for the replays, and Bandit, our winner from race 1, in 13th, also on the hard. So a lot of drivers out there that's going to be starting on the hard tyres. So here we go, let's get this underway. Watch those lights, and let's get this 12 lapper started. And away we go. Not such a bad hold this time. It was an awful hold at race 1. And Fazzy already having a look. Already got himself up to about 4th place as it stands. Looking for 3rd place now. Up the inside of DB. Oh, when it's probably tight through there. Now, can it be a little bit better? Well, a couple of them running wide. Love Rocket Rods was one of them. I thought they all got through. Now, who's that right at the back who didn't get that right? I think that might have been Firepower. Yeah, he ran it too wide as well, and on those hard tyres, and didn't come out particularly well. So down to 13th for him. So, but at least it was a little bit cleaner than race 1. A bit messy there it was into turn 1, which is always going to happen when you've got all the cars piling in there. But look at Swifty go way out in front already on the medium tyres now. The medium guys will obviously run it as long as they possibly can. Oh, and there's Tiddy, and who's that? Fazzy's gone through. It's Tiddy. I don't know who that was. A Saint possibly? Yeah, maybe. Let's go back to Tiddy and have a look what happened now. He went up the inside of Fazzy, and well, actually, there was no touch of it. He just ran it wide, I think. Oh, it was DB as well. So they both had their mate. It's the same little mistake, just ran it wide through turn 5 there. Now, is that to do with the tyres, or Tiddy's on the mediums, DB's on the hard? So no, just 2 completely separate incidents there at the same corner. No one else involved. So we race on. Obviously, no safety car called. So action now at the start of these races, where we're all gathered and close together as we see them all piling down towards the chicane for the first time. Swifty's through, then Fazzy. Swifty with a nice lead. Fazzy in second, 80 in third with half a second. Love Rocket fourth. Then we've got Pablo and Smith. Then Ginger in 7th. Tiddy in 8th. Bandit 10th. Tiddy in 8th. Carlsberg 9th. Bandit in 10th. DB in 11th. The Saint in 12th. Firepower in 13th. But still trying to get themselves into a position where they can make a clean pass with the help of a bit of slipstream as well. Bandit trying to look for the high line, but it's got caught up behind Tiddy Milk now. So come down to turn 1, and let's see if there's any fun and games down here. Swifty our leader, Fazzy in second, Love Rocket third, then Pablo. Smith going out wide with Ginger, and Ginger followed him out there, and they're both going out wide now. They could both pick up a penalty, possibly. I think there was a coming together between them. I think Smith was ahead of Ginger, and Ginger just followed Smith out there. I think they're okay. I don't think they would picked up any penalties there, actually, to be fair. So we'll see that high shot again through turn 3. Great shot, that one. 80 in 5th place. Trying to chase down Pablo. Love Rocket Rods and Fazzy. This is for the podium. Love Rocket Rods obviously going to look for a better race this time out. But Pablo going up the inside of Love Rocket there, and that was a good move. In fairness, that was a nice clean move. I think Love Rocket Rod's probably just seen him coming at the last minute, giving him a bit of space. Now we've got AD and Love Rocket in 4th or 5th place, and remember these two are the two that come together through turn 2 in race 1, and it wasn't very, at turn 3 I should say, it wasn't very pleasant between them. So hopefully there's no bad feelings towards both of them. It looks like they're okay. Fazzy ran it a bit wide there though through the bus stop chicane, and he lost a couple of spots, and in fact it's going to go all the way back down possibly to 6th place here if AD and Smith gets a run on him. There's Fazzy at the bottom, AD in that middle line with Smith following him through there, with Smith now just dropping. Now it's going to be through a side, and we know what happens when they start going through a side down towards the start finish line, because turn 1's coming up pretty quickly. We know what happens at turn 1 most of the time, so hopefully it's going to be, and it's 80. Don't want to be going down the inside there, and Smith did. And it's a bit close there, and in fairness, all good. I think Smith just had to let off a little bit there, and he did lose another spot to Fazzy. So just had to let off a little bit, Smith there, otherwise he was going to clatter into AD, I think it was there. But just sits in 6th place. Bandit there, just sitting comfortably in 7th. Remember, winner of our race 1, so he's on them hard tyres. So I'm not sure whether they're going to, and in fact he has got Smokey in the Bandit number plate on there. I've just noticed band 1. When Ginger goes wide there down at turn 5, and that's not exactly how that feels, because I've done exactly the same thing, but a little bit more dramatic than that. But yeah, the Bandit now trying to get onto the back of Smith. Who's that that went out? And that was AD. He got it all wrong. So let's have a look what happened there. I think he just outbroke himself. He was in 5th place. Let's have a look. That's he's gone board. So, did he just catch a bit of that grass? I think he did, and then he smacks into the tyres, and bang, you ain't going nowhere, son. And that's the end of that. And well, he did lose a couple of spots, but then there's quite a big gap back to Ginger, who had his own problems down there at turn 5, which is why he's back there with the Saint behind him in 10th place. But that's not going to help AD at all. There's still a long way to go, so he's got some time to try and recover. It's quick, obviously, all quick these guys, but you ain't got much to work off in front of you. It's then very difficult to get any kind of momentum, as we see Tiddy Milk. And who's that? That's Smith battling it out through turn 12 and 13. Well, Tiddy's actually just been done by Smith, but he's got half a second anyway, so Smith will pull away a little bit. Going into, what are we now, turn 1? Oh no, he's in the pit, so actually, yeah, a few of them will come in. I thought it was a bit early for for turn 1. So quite a few actually has come in. I think there's Love Rocket Rods, Fazzy, Bandit, Smith. So yeah, got 5 or 6 cars that are coming now. So a lot of them deciding it's time's right to come in. Who else is out there that's on the hard tyres then? I think it's all the medium guys now that are runners. No, the Saint in 4th, he's standing out for another lap on those hard tyres. Everyone else that's running at the moment are on the mediums. So let's see if Saint's strategy works here. He's going to give it another go. A couple of the medium guys are coming in as well. I'm not sure. Oh no, they're the tyres they're putting on. Sorry, I was going to say, why are they coming in? But Saint then in 4th, trying to get to the back of Tiddy Milk in 3rd. But Swifty, got to say, who's been leading this for a while now, out front, obviously under no pressure whatsoever. He can run his lines. So the holder of the fastest lap at the moment, a 1:58.9. basically, if you can just get some clean laps in, picking out any penalties up, this could work into his favour. Now, of course, he's still got to come in, but a long way. He ain't going to come in yet. It's still only lap 4 or 12, so in fairness, he can run it all the way out to lap 10 at least. For the well, that would be the final lap before you have to come in to do the minimum 2 lap requirements. But so he's got a long way that he can now try and get himself clear of Pablo, who's in second place, who's also got a lovely big gap back then to Tiddy. Dabs of the brake for turn 1 there, which is inevitable. It's such a difficult corner at turn 1. It's the most difficult corner on the whole of this circuit, I think. If you're coming down there 135, 140 mile an hour possibly into turn 1, hard on the brakes, and you've got to try and get that car stopped as you come around that left-hander. Very difficult to keep it steady, to keep it stable through there. So I think a couple of dabs of the brake probably is the right thing to do. You're going to be locking the brakes up through there. Saint does look like he's catching these. Remember, he's on those hard tyres and he's still staying out, so he's got doing another lap as well. So maybe he fancies hard tyres over the medium tyres here, going for a longer stint on those hards. At the moment, it's paying off, isn't it? He's not a million miles off the back of Tiddy, who, remember, the guys ahead of him all on medium tyres, so he's doing a grand job there. 4th place on those hard tyres is the Saint. Leading up the next group, not really leading up the group, is he? But next up is Fazzy. But kind of been a little bit isolated now. But then there's a little battle behind him between the Bandit, Colesberg, and Love Rocket, who's in 8th, is not too far away. But these were the guys, obviously, that have been in and come out on their medium tyres. They've done their minimum 2 laps on the hards. So they're on the way to the end now. It all depends, really. It's quite a long stop in pit lane here at Daytona. So it depends how these guys, how much pace they've got to give, but they can actually do the overcut. Love Rocket Rods there in 8th place. Ahead of Smith in 9th, then DB in 10th, 80, who's unusually down there in 11th place. Used to seeing him a little bit higher up, aren't we? But he did have his moment, didn't he, down there at turn 7, as he goes past DB up to 10th after he took off his penalty. Up to 11th goes Firepower as well. DB staying out of the way, and Ginger behind him in 12th, sorry, but DB didn't have a great race 1 in the end. Was picking up too many penalties, I think, was the issue. But that just put him down near the back of the field by the end of the race, and fortunately he's really getting anywhere in this one either. But so halfway through, so not write anybody off at this early stage. So it's all going to change anyway. You've still got loads of guys that have got to come into pit lane, remember. So DB trying to go on the outside of Firepower. Firepower's now going to be on the outside. DB's lined it up, so you go on the outside through turn 5 to then line yourself up for the inside here at turns 6 and 7. He did get it done, so up to 11th he goes, and I think Ginger actually also took Firepower to get himself to 12th, although Ginger just grabbed that 11th off of DB there. That tighter line through onto the oval for Ginger. So 11th for him, 80 ahead of him now, just pulled away a little bit as we look at that beautiful lake. You don't want to be going swimming in there, not with the gators and crocs in there, so no thank you, but looks wonderful, doesn't it, in the sun. The Saint there in 9th place with Smith in 8th. Then we've got Love Rocket in 7th, Bandit in 6th. Colesberg in 5th place, who's also, remember, he had a great race 1, didn't he? Got himself on that podium in the end, 2nd place actually. There he is in 5th. So we know he got the fastest lap as well, so we know he's pretty handy around this circuit. So it'll be interesting to see where he ends up. They come in still, of course, or unless he's been in, short, but possibly might have been in actually. Yeah, them tyres look like they're pretty brand new, so looking good in 5th at the moment. Got Fazzy in 4th, Tiddy still in 3rd, with Pablo in 2nd, Swifty still out front, and has been from the start. Now we've seen Swifty, haven't we, with some mixed results. So this will help if he can win this one. Remember, still got at least another 3 laps, or he's going to have to pit on lap 10 anyway, but he's got at least another 3 laps if he wants on those medium tyres, if he's got enough fuel to do that. And Pablo in the same boat. And he actually's got a little bit more fuel as Pablo, but still only got to 3 more laps. They start lap 8 before they've got to come in. Tiddy Milk as well. Medium's revving it out there in 4th gear, so I'm not too sure he's really giving it to the rev line there, wasn't he? As we see him coming round at 13 now towards the start and finish, really revving it out. Look, 5th before he changes into 6th gear. Or is he going to stay in 5th? Has he got a problem with his gearbox? Because he's revving it out in 5th. Sure, they must have 6 gears in these cars. So really revving it out in 5th. So too sure if he's got an issue there, mechanical issue or gearbox issue or something there with Tiddy Milk. I mean, he seems to be going okay, but we'll have to keep an eye on that one, I think. So doing a lot of revving out, and as I say, didn't appear to be getting himself up to 6th place. In fact, let's go on board, because I'm interested to see, intrigued to see if he is going to get this, if he does actually, if he has got a 6th gear or whether it's broke, because as he gets onto the oval, which will be in a couple of corners time, and he should be getting himself through the gearbox. Just intrigued really. We'll go back to looking at the action, but to 2nd, revving it there, takes a lot of the outside curve up to 3rd, moves it right up high to 4th, gives it the full beans, doesn't he, to 5th. Let's see if he does get it into 6th gear, because he didn't do it on the 2nd part of the oval before. I think he wants it out in 5th. He's certainly not. So maybe there is only 5 gears in these cars. You know what? Maybe there is, but I would have thought there's probably 6 gears. But anyway, to check with the others, maybe there is only 5 gears. Maybe that is the top gear in these Scirocco's. Should really know, shouldn't I, to be honest? Maybe there is, because Bandit's also revving out in 5th, so no, there is a 6th gear, so that's a very odd decision for Tiddy. So I'm wondering whether I don't think he's got a 6th gear, you know. I was going to say, it must have a 6th gear. This 5th gear is an old cars. These are relatively new models, so always going to have a 6th gear in these things, but he's obviously got an issue with his top gear there as Tiddy, so at the moment it's not doing him too badly, is it? But you're looking at Bandit being chased down by Colesberg. But Fazzy is also getting closed in, and has he got an issue? Because look at these two just flying past. What's the issue with Fazzy there? Is he trying to fuel save? Maybe just trying to fuel save so he doesn't have to. Maybe he's fuel saving because he has been in, hasn't he? So I think he's actually now trying to run it so that he can finish the race. Maybe that fuel he's just using too much of it as they come through turn 3 in that wider line. But Bandit then in 4th place now, Fazzy in 5th with Colesberg in 6th place, so a bit of an odd one there for Fazzy as well. It's a shame we can't really see their fuel maps. Be interesting to see if any of them are starting to save a little bit of fuel. get himself on a bit of slipstream. That always say, oh, hang on a minute. Oh, for a second there, I thought we'd lost Bandit, but he went really wide out of turn 7 now onto the oval. I thought he'd gone really wide and lost it, but no, he's still there in 4th place. But Fazzy now eyeing up that move. You can see that long panning shot again across the lake. Fazzy now having a go up to 4th place, coming up towards the chicane, and lovely clean move. Oh, a little nudge from the Bandit from behind to Fazzy. Oh, and he gets a second for that and half a second for Bandit. So I don't actually think that was connected. Well, it was connected, but I think actually. Oh, and that's Fazzy's got some. He's got some damage. Has he got a? Looks like he's maybe got a puncture. He's sort of right up there high. I'm not sure what the problem is here, but Fazzy's rubbing along that barrier. He's got an issue. He's not coming in, is he? Oh, he's definitely got an issue, and he's gone. Something's gone, and we might get a yellow flag come up here. So the guys are going to have to be careful. He can't turn left at all, can he? He can't even get himself into pit lane, and he's scraping along that barrier. He's better off just going. Yeah, he's got his hazard lights on now, and something's happened to Fazzy. Oh, he's left, so he's gone in out of the race. So something's happened there for Fazzy. It was after that initial contact, wasn't it, with Bandit through the chicane, where it all suddenly went wrong for him. But Swifty don't care, our leader. He's on lap 10 now, and actually he should have come in. Has he been in? Maybe I missed it. Maybe he did come in. No, I think he must have been in, because he would have been in last time out. So actually, after all this, he must have come in and gone out in the lead. Because this is going to be, in actual fact, no, this will be it. This was a 2. This is going to be his 2 laps, isn't he? He's going to be in now, surely. Come on to them hard tyres, along with Pablo. Pablo's just following suit, and he's just going to copy Swifty. So he should now come in. No, they're not. So I've got it all completely wrong. So Swifty must have been in, unless he has completely miscalculated. Pablo's in. Tiddy Milk. He's going to dive across. Is he into pit lane as well? Yes. So I'm not sure then whether Swifty has made a mistake there, because I think he should have been in. I don't remember seeing him come in. I might be completely and utterly wrong, but Bandit and Colesberg, meanwhile, are side by side coming down towards turn 1 now. We're going over the start and finish now towards turn 1. And as Colesberg grabbed that second off a Bandit, it just backs off a little bit and just remains in 3rd place. And like I said, Colesberg is in a good position as they caught up with Pablo, who's just come out of pit lane, and he's going to drop all the way down to 4th. So actually they've now gained another place on Pablo. Pablo's dropped to 4th. He's come out on those hard tyres, just in front of both Bandit and Colesberg. So Pablo's not out of this either at the moment, but Swifty, I'm intrigued. I don't think he's been in. If he has, it's been one hell of a strategy, because he's miles ahead of the rest. But he's coming down towards the bus stop chicane now, but this is the penultimate lap. So has he miscalculated? Have I miscalculated? Have I missed something? Or has he made a huge error by not coming in to pit lane? I can't see it being a mistake like that. Maybe it's me. I wouldn't be at all surprised, but that's a hell of a gap if he's managed to pull that gap out of everybody. So AD there in 6th place, Smith in 7th, Ginger in 8th, Tiddy battling with Ginger in 9th place. So they come down towards the chicane. Well, Swifty's not coming in, so I'm going to assume that he must have done it at some point. So maybe I just missed that, but if that is the case, that's a huge lead that he's got over everybody else. I didn't think he was that far ahead of everyone. enough to give himself a lead like that. So apologies if I'm completely wrong, Swifty, but I might have missed something. But please let me know. Someone let us know if comments if what happened there. Saint in 12th, and of course we know we lost Fazzy a couple of laps ago. So Saint, who was in a good position early doors, wasn't he, is now down there in 12th place. But Swifty, our leader. So you may have come in really, really early, but still can't see how you can have that much of a gap over everybody else. And it into second and the fastest lap. And remember, he won race 1, didn't he? So what an outing this has been. So victory in race 1, potential second place here in race 2, although Colesberg is going to have something to say about that, but still, Bandit should still get himself on the podium nevertheless. I mean, Pablo's not too far behind, but I think he's just off, just a little bit too far back to do anything about the guys ahead of him. But battle is on there for second and third place. Watching them come down now towards the chicane, but we've got to go back to our leader because he's just coming through the final corner to win this race. Swifty from the front, and we've only 5 gears, remember. In fact, he's revving it out like Tiddy. Yeah, so congratulations to Swifty. Bandit, oh, hang on, he's not going to get second place, is he? He's got half a second here, so Colesberg is going to get another second place because he's going to grab him here. Past Bandit he goes, second place. Bandit will be happy with third, I think, after winning race 1. Pablo in 4th. In fact, he got 4th in race 1, so 2 full places for him. That's good for him. Love Rocket, that's better from Love Rocket in 5th. Oh, and close between AD and Smith. Smith just grabbed it in 6th. AD 7th. Tiddy Milk in 8th. Got Ginger and DB, another close battle there. 9th and 10th. Then Firepower in 11th, and the Saint in 12th. And Bandit did get that fastest lap of 1:57.0. So, well, all sorts going on again there in race 2. Not quite as dramatic as race 1, but still a few little bits and pieces going on nevertheless. So, but that was really enjoyable. So I think next time up we're in Croatia at the Dragon Trail Seaside circuit. So that'll be another interesting round, that one for round 4. So yeah, catch me again in about a week's time for that. Hopefully you'll join me, and please like and subscribe, as I always say, if you can, and if you haven't already. And thanks for watching, and I'll catch you again soon. Bye for now.